good, y'all? It's Project Man. Today we're back in another video. This is a Raw open discussion. And by that I mean the TV show Raw. Not just Raw as in, well, it's both actually, right? Double entendre there, because it's Raw in the sense of there's nothing we're not going to say, right? Anything we're going to say, we're going to air it all out right here, right now. And Raw is in tonight, what just happened, what we just saw. So, I wanted to call out some of this ain't going to be like a review. This is just going to be what I thought based off what I saw. Like, I just finished watching Monday Night Raw, WWE Monday Night Raw. So, this is more going to be an open discussion. This ain't going to be like a review, because a review would mean I'd have to take notes, break it down. But I'm going to do, from what I remember from the show, like, I'm going to be honest, this is going to be, like I said, it's going to be more of an open mic night, open discussion. So first I'll name the good things, then I'll name the bad things, and then that'll be the end of the video. Or the bad things will just be me kind of saying what they need to fix up on, or what I personally think they could fix up on, and for the better of the company. Now, this is just not me just, oh, I'm another guy, another fanboy who's giving his opinion. No, I'm saying things that would, if they were to do this, that would help a lot of their show, a lot of their product. But anyway, not gonna waste too much time. Let's get into it. First, we're gonna name the good things, because there was a lot of good on Raw tonight. I think I rated it like 8 out of 10. So there was a lot of good things on Raw tonight. So number one, and I had all this in my mind, that's why I decided to record this, because I was like, figured if I had all this to say, I'd record it. So I'm not even trying to be one of those guys who just try to catch as many views as I can after the show. Nah, this is like, I had so much to think and say, and I was like, and I was saying it, and I was like, oh wait, let's turn on the camera for this. But anyway, first good thing I'll admit is the whole bloodline stuff in general. I mean, from the first match with Solo, Kevin Owens, main event match with Sammy and Jimmy. Obviously, they cut to a few I think 2 times they cut to a promo segment that included the bloodline. So that was good. Definitely what happened at the end of the night. I'll just establish that now. At the end of the night, let's just say Jey Uso made his decision. He made his move, and he quite literally hit a move. So he literally quite made his move and shows what side he's on. And he's sticking with the bloodline. He's sticking with his day ones. He's sticking with the people that's known him for as long as he's been alive. You know, he is stuck with his people. He decided, and I knew he was gonna kick him, because everybody was thinking like, oh, he joined Sammy, and I was like, oh, that is a cool moment. But I'm like, I was thinking, well, 2 things I thought. One, they ain't too close together. I know they hugged, but after that, I was like, they ain't too close together. He got enough room to super kick him. And then I was thinking to myself, oh, I think he's gonna kick him. Because I was thinking how good of a turn that'd be, like, make everybody think, oh, they're friends. And it did catch the crowd. Boston was a pretty energetic crowd. They were chanting, you know, holy, you know what? And I was like, wow, they got people hooked on this thing. So I was like, that would be great if they like kicked them, like because look, the second Jey kicked Sammy, they stopped chanting that. They went, oh. That's what they did. The second he kicked him, that's how you know. That's what I mean by, that's what wrestling needs and what it was founded upon. Great storylines that hook people and great characters that people are captivated by and care about. Right? That's what wrestling's been all about. The wrestling is great. No doubt the wrestling is great. It's important. It's an art. But if you want to look at the overall picture and what brings the numbers, it's the stars, bro. It's the stars and the storylines they're involved in. Once you can get invested into somebody, you can get invested in the 2 somebodies going at it. That's what the wrestling's been about. Because that's what you're going to remember, right? The storyline is what hooks you in movies, TV shows. That's what you have to have. You can't just, like, you watch an action movie, right? You can't just have action. Like Thanos in the Avengers, all of them don't mean anything if there's no backstory behind any of them, if there's no story being told. If they all started fighting, you wouldn't know any reason why they should be fighting and what significance is there from them destroying Thanos, right? If there's no story, there's no mission that needs to be made, then destroys the purpose, right? There's no interest, right? There's nothing that captivates you and hook you. There's nothing that separates it, from everything else. But that being said, and you're going to remember the story more than you will any action scene. Yeah, let's be honest. Any action you see is going to be cool, but, like, it's not going to be what you remember. Like, the Bloodline story, you're going to remember that. But people who go, oh, wow, that match was a banger, like Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta, I mean, they're going to say, like, oh, that was a banger. What a great match. But I'm like, think about it. You're not going to remember that match, nor will you be honest with yourself. You're not going to go back and watch that. But you'll go back and watch, like, storyline segments, right? Promo segments like we saw tonight. Like, you will go back and watch those because those are the things that hooked you, bro. The characters involved doing great work, doing their job and telling the story, and the story being told is just fantastic, right? With all the whole thing with the bloodline. So a lot of good stuff tonight. That was one. Two, Logan Paul. Give him props for, he had some great lines tonight, man. Rollins didn't even say anything back for real, man. Like, I think Logan was saying, like, shout out to him, being the YouTube. I'm team YouTube, so when I see YouTubers do big things like this, I'm excited. Like, I was excited when he signed. I was like, great, bro. Like, do your thing out there, man. I mean, shoot, man. Why hate on a kid? I mean, you can hate him personally. I know there's reason definitely for that, but why hate a kid for achieving his dream and being actually good at it, right? He's enjoyable to watch. Whether he's talking or wrestling, there's something there, bro. He's not disappointing. So, you can get on being part-time, blah, blah, this and that, using it as his own little stepping stone, whatever you want to say. He's good at what he does, bro. He said that Rollins was jealous because he accomplished all of what Rollins did in terms of like that rise to fame, everybody talking about him. He got all that going on for him in 1 year. He did, bro. In 1 year, he had everybody talking about him. Popular, talk of the town in the wrestling business. He got that quick, 1 year. And then he said he was upset because he's on the way in. Logan Paul's on the way into the business. Rollins is on the way out, basically saying, I'm just getting started, and you're about to finish this. And it's like, calling him out on what he did, right? Like, are you upset at me because I've beaten you every single time we faced each other? I eliminated you from the Rumble. I laid you out at Elimination Chamber, right? I've been getting the best of you. And then he did it again tonight with the one lucky punch. Now, punches in wrestling are hard to look good, so I can't even blame that on Logan because they did it with Big Show. There were times where Big Shows looked good because, oddly enough, or funny enough, the good-looking knockouts from Big Show was the ones that actually, like, punch people. Like, when you saw it happen, those were the best ones. And obviously in wrestling, punches don't work because they would really mess somebody's face up, and you gotta have your performers compete long term so you can actually like really punch each other, really lay in. But he laid Seth Rollins out again. And shout out to Rollins, right? He's getting well over with that crowd. I know the song's doing a lot of it, but still, man, they still like Rollins, right? So they apparently, his character, whether you like it or not, and there was times where I said I didn't really get it, but hey, it's working, man, and like, you gotta rock with it now. So, but anyway, that's another good thing. Is there anything else? Women, great individuals, all look great. They all can wrestle. So we got a lot of good stuff in this 6-woman tag between new tag team champions and Becky and Lita. And then you got Trish on their side with Damage Control on the other side, Bayley, Io Sky and Dakota Kai. A lot of great talent in that ring. I think that's going to be a great 6-women's tag. And I think that's a great way to, because I'm not a biggest fan of like 6 people in a match. It's harder to really keep that in control, but because it's a lot of star power in it and there is story in it, that's what I'm saying, like once you put some story in it and they're like connecting together, I can start going, all right, we're not just throwing people together, right? These are people who you can clearly tell all the connections and why they're together and why they teamed up, and so there's logic behind it all. So I can get behind that 6-woman tag. So shout out to them. Hopefully they rock out at WrestleMania, man. That is a match that I never thought I'd say I would want to see. If somebody told me I needed to see Bayley, Io, and Dakota all together facing Trish, Lita, and Becky, I would have said, I don't know if I need to see that. I mean, I think I'd just be like, you're just putting a lot of people together for no reason. But now that I see the reason, I'm like, okay, now I'm looking at that like, all right, I'm ready to rock out with that one. But that was another good thing. I was trying to think if there was anything else other than the obvious. I don't think there was anything else outside the obvious. And the obvious would be Cena. Oh, no, Edge. Edge came out there. He really did his thing, interrupting Balor, and now they set up a face-to-face for next week. I thought that was a good backstage promo for the brief stint of time he was out there. But no, that was great. But then now we have to name the obvious, man. We got to talk about John Cena and his verbal evisceration and exposing of Austin Theory. There's no way we couldn't talk about that. I feel like that was the biggest thing. And there were a lot of big things, especially the closing. There was a lot of big things that happened tonight. But what Cena did with Theory, I mean, That was the perfect example of an exposing of Austin Theory, man. I mean, he literally, bro. I don't even, bro. He cooked him too bad. I said, okay, Austin Theory, he's good in the ring. He's a good athlete. You know, that being said, I just think to myself, like, I think he overcooked him. I think he overcooked him, but at the same time, I feel like this is one of those things that he needed, bro, because Cena told a lot of truth tonight, and just at least for the smart, right? Fans knew, but especially the smart fans like me who've known that Theory has not changed. They have not, repackaged him into this new character, right? He's not, what they call, like, rebirth, rebooted, resetted Austin Theory. Like, we knew that was all like smoke and mirrors, bro. Just because he wore a different outfit and lost the cell phone, right? That does not change. I mean, that's all he did, though. It was not like a whole character change. Oh, he's more aggressive. I'm like, Cena even knew. Cena knew. Of course he would. He didn't even buy that. This dude said, I'll name a couple lines. He said that, he's just the, like, what is this? Like, you're not over, you're not a character. This isn't, you're not developed. I mean, you're just coming out here wearing some new kicks and this and that. Like, this is nothing. Like, facts. Like, all of like what we've been saying. Like, he even told him that he's in his ruthless aggression era phase. He's in the ruthless aggression phase, like Cena's phase. Like, don't know who he is. I mean, got a good looking physique and can do things in the ring, but he ain't there yet. He's a rookie. He even pointed out, in the it was a sign in the crowd that said John Cena wannabe. He even pointed that out, like just ripping him apart from every angle. And then he kept doing it even when he left the ring. He just kept going. Like, Theory had nothing else to say, nothing else to do, but look at him as angrily as he did. And then he told him that, what was another? That was some good lines, man. I don't even know if I can remember them all, but it was just a lot of truth being told about Austin Theory. And that the big thing he said, I mean, you can forget breaking the fourth wall. Cena breaks all the walls. This dude said that they even have to pipe in fake crowd noise to make people think like you're a star. That's not verbatim, but you get what he meant. Like, and again, I'm mouth is open and I'm going, he is going off on this dude and he will not stop. I know there's lines I'm missing, but yo, he just basically, I'm saying he would not stop. And then he was saying the big thing, right? It's simple, but it's big, right? Like, you don't believe, I'm not going to do this match because you don't even believe in yourself. You don't believe all the things you're saying. Like, you don't, like, no one can believe in you because, like, I think he was saying he was either not believable or like that he doesn't even believe all of this stuff that he says he is or that he's about and that championship. Like, he doesn't even believe in all that stuff. And I'm just like thinking, like, bro, this is all the things I was thinking. And this is what makes people like Cena. There was no nice Cena that whole promo segment, except obviously with him saying, oh, the people want to see the match, blah, blah, blah. Because at first he just said no. Like, he was like, nah, I'm not doing the match because it's going to be bad for you. Oh, another big thing he said, I'm not going to be, after, whether you beat me at Mania or not, like, you're done for. Like, you're finished. That it's over for you. Whether you beat me, it's over because, or I'm gonna say this first thing. If he beats Theory, like, it's over. Yes, I mean, the rookie lost to Cena. I mean, it's over for him at that point. That's a big loss. But then he said, oh, okay, but even if you beat me, it's still a big loss. It's still a big loss because guess what? You're gonna have to do this the Monday Night Raw. Like, right after, you're gonna have to go on Monday Night Raw, and you gotta keep going. You gotta keep delivering on every single angle and every single week. You have to deliver, and I'm not gonna be there to hold your hand this time or anymore. Like, jeez, he basically was telling Theory, like, you're good in the ring, good athlete, no doubt, but that does not mean nothing. You still got a lot of work to do to be at the top of the card of this business. And then I remember he was like, think of the legendary names, right? Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker. He was like saying, you got the best name. And then Austin Theory. And it's like, and the crowd just started booing. The crowd was obviously heavily behind Cena. Cena was just dropping truth bombs left and right. But Yeah, that just goes to show you that Theory has a lot to work on, and that's what I've been saying. He's great in the ring, has charisma, but he hasn't gotten and better on the mic, right? Improves, but he's not at a comfortable place to where you can go, yeah, I can trust him out there to go on the microphone. Like MJF. Like MJF, he may not be at the best he ever will be on the mic, but he's definitely at a great spot to where you're like, oh, can trust him to go out there and cut a promo. Right? Even though if he's not at his GOAT tier yet, whatever that is, because he keeps unlocking new levels. That's why I say he's not at the fullest point, because he keeps doing new things that make you go, God dang it, man. What can this guy not do? Or I didn't know he could do that. I didn't know he could, So he's at a very high level that where you would trust him to go out there and cut a promo that's going to be remembered and talked about, and boom. But Theory's not at that comfortable level to where you're like, oh yeah, I can trust him to go out there and go on the mic and say something very important. Everybody's paying attention. It's some hard-hitting stuff. Like, he's not at that level yet, man. So, and that's what we've been saying. We like Theory, but we know he's not at that level character-wise and verbally. He hasn't found himself yet. And Cena was just, the guy speaking through all of us who knew that about him, and we're pointing that stuff out, and that it's not a new Austin Theory. I mean, he's got a lot of work to do, and he's like Cena in a sense of, yeah, like he's in his ruthless aggression era phase, like you said, man. He can do the stuff. He's got the good physique, right? Has the perfect look for the company, right? So everyone should like you. Like Johnson said, everybody should like you, right? You got the speed, the power, the strength. You got the look. Everybody should like you, but that's just not the case, bro. He said, him being like Austin Theory, he almost got fired for it, because Cena did almost get fired before he finally had a character, and then obviously he evolved into what he is now. So shout out to Cena, man. It's just, there was no, and then he introduced Cody and all that stuff. So there was just no nice things said from Cena. But I feel it's like Roman Reigns, right? Because Roman Reigns in 2017 forgot his lines, and he, got obliterated in that segment with Cena, because Cena's not afraid to break down any wall, no matter who it is, no matter who you choose as the next guy. It doesn't matter to Cena. But I think Theory got that speech, and obviously Cena eventually agreed, because he asked the crowd, hey, do you guys want to see it? And that's all that matters. It's not that I care about you, but I do care about them, that type of deal. But Cena, for the most part, nothing nice to say. And I think that was similar to Roman Reigns. Like Roman Reigns, I think in Impulse of Logan Paul's podcast, I think when he had Roman on there, he was saying that was one of those things that, that really gave him that push, that really gave him that boost to become who he is today, in terms of improving his character drastically in that character development. I think this is the same thing that's going to happen to Theory. Like, down the line, however many years that is, he's like, 25 years old? Down the line, I think this is going to be a really great thing for Theory, as in now he's going to go like, oh, I got embarrassed on the microphone. I'm not letting that happen again. So now he's going to work hard on the microphone and this and that, because Theory's hard working and has that drive. So he's going to, whatever he needs to perfect, he'll perfect it. And I think he will be good on the mic. One day we can say, like, wow, Theory's really good on the mic. Or at least start saying, wow, that was a really great promo. Like, I think we'll be able to say that about Austin Theory, now that he's gotten that segment where Cena's pushed him back hard. I think he's going to have now that chip on his shoulder. Because once you get exposed like that with a legend, like, that's when you realize, like, dang, you got a lot to learn or a lot to improve on, and that I ain't there yet. I'm still in the rookie phase, man. So I think that should only push Austin Theory. He's a tough guy, man. So I think that should only push him. And I'm surprised, because if I was Austin Theory, I'd have said, hey, I'm gonna have my hardest hitting lines out there. But maybe that wasn't the direction they wanted to go to, because I bet Theory probably did want to say some hard hitting lines, but he just told him that he was bald. Basically, he told him he was bald. That was funny. Basically told him he was bald, and that, you're giving up on these people. That's what you're doing by not accepting this match. But that's about all he said. But good things on the show. The bad things were the obvious, right? Like Nikki Cross, Piper Niven, no one needs to see that. Omos and Ziggler, why is Ziggler losing again? And no one's caring about Omos. Maximum Male Models, nobody cares about that. Baron Corbin. Shout out to Chad Gable, he won. I thought that was a good thing. At the expense of Corbin. That's his gimmick now. I guess boring Corbin, right? He's boring. That's his gimmick now. I guess this is working well. But yep. And then still no further, development with the Lashley and Wyatt feud. I think that there should be, and that they would have something, but I just don't think they're doing it. I think they would have something. I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like they would know how to make this story, even though there's no real reason to see it, and that they haven't really. You look at their history and that they have no history with Wyatt and Lashley, but I feel they can still make it work. I feel like the segment with Howdy was good, but the problem is there was just not enough context for me to really go like, wow, what a segment. But it showed me that they have potential, and don't know what's taking them so long to really kick this feud up, because I feel like they can, even though they have no history. There's no real reason to see it. I feel if anybody can make you see it, it's Wyatt. You know, in terms of making you want to see a feud. I mean, he did that well with LA Knight, even though LA Knight was more of the standout in that feud. But anyway, the things last thing I'm gonna say, the thing I think they would need to work on is, you know, when you have people like Nikki Cross and Piper Niven, people that, you know, aren't gonna get a crowd reaction, right? Nobody cares about as much. Finn Balor and Gargano was a pretty good match. I forgot to mention the actual match. I just said that Edge came out there. I forgot to actually mention it. Pretty good match. Gargano got the win over Finn. But Finn was able to take the loss here in a sense of Gargano. That's a big win for him. And that, you know, he was able to take that pin in a sense of for the storyline. And I hope they're going to do Demon Balor and Edge in like a Hell in a Cell. I hope that's the case, because there's no reason to see that match. If it's not the Demon Finn Balor, there's no reason to see this match. But, again, you know, unless they do that, the Demon, that would be a reason to see it again and at Mania. But I think that if you have people that people don't know, that was a funny segment with Rick Boogs basically having Elias get screwed by Bronson Reed because they're gonna face each other next week, and he's obviously he said, you know, I want to beat you, or I want to match with you, or whatever, and he said that, and Elias got the match. That's not how it was supposed to go, but I thought it was a funny little segment with Rick Boogs. But I feel like if there's people that they don't know, right, like Ziggler, you know, you would have to go on a whole babyface build for him if you want to get him to high levels again. But people like Piper Niven and all that, I feel like I've always thought they should beat jobbers for the first 3 weeks, a face, right? And they're overdoing it, right? They're like beating the jobber up after the match, and then one of those times a big star comes out. Now they're trying to save him, or at least a semi-big star. They're not going to be the biggest star in the company, but at least a semi-big star everybody knows, over well with the crowd. And you start them feuding with that. Like, you start doing, then you may do an attack on them. You start doing some verbal stuff. And then you could start, you know, just if you're really good at what you do, you could get a lot done verbally. You don't even have to face them. You could prove a lot of yourself, like LA Knight did with Bray Wyatt. He proved a lot of himself verbally, and now he's getting more of a bigger and bigger reaction every time he's out there. So once you're good as a talent, it doesn't matter who they put you with. And I think that's what they need to do with people like Piper Niven, Nikki Cross. Come up with either a great storyline or put them in there with somebody the crowd knows, so that then they can get familiar with this person and go, okay, I need to look deeper into this person. They got a lot of good talent here. And that's how you make stars, by putting them with stars that they can build with, you know? Because you can't make a name out of somebody you can't make two nobodies into somebody. You know, you can't make two nobodies go at it and expect somebody to come out as a somebody. You got to put nobody with somebody for the nobody to become somebody. That's always what I thought. But that's all I had to say. That's all I had to think right now. I love and appreciate you guys if you watched this far, because this is going to be a lengthier one. Definitely higher in the 20-minute range. But I love and appreciate you guys. And I shall see you guys in the next one. This is a raw, I guess I'm going to call this raw open discussion, or open mic, which one I want to call it. But I love and appreciate you guys. Prodigy. And I'm out. Peace.